1 minute. There he goes. Hello! Can you hear me now? Okay, so apparently the microphone decided to flip out on me. So I will start over and basically say that, again, I went to the M19 pre-release because I always do the pre-release tournaments. That's really the only tournaments that I do. So, I'm going to go over the cards that I got through the M19 pre-release, and then I'm going to show you guys the deck at the end that I played. So, again, this is what I got as my pre-release card, and I was kind of ticked about it because I don't play elves. I never want to play elves, and I got an elf. So, it's a good elf, but it's a card I will never play. So, typically with pre-releases, my promo card is usually something that I will not play with. So, keeping tradition alive with that. But I'll go through some of the other junk that I got. First, starting with lands, like I always do. I got a Stone Quarry. Enters battlefield tapped. You get red or white. Highland Lake, same thing. Blue or red. Submerged Boneyard, same thing, except blue or black. Like I said, while I'm going through this, anything you guys want to say about the pre-release, tell me how your game went. Tell me what you think of these cards that I'm flipping through. You know, share your thoughts. Let me know what's going on. Divination, draw 2 cards. I believe that was a reprint. Sift, draw 3 cards and discard a card. That is a reprint. Totally Lost, put target permanent or non-land permanent on top of its owner's library for 5 mana. Totally unplayable. Maybe in the pre-release, I'm gonna mess with the focus a little bit. Maybe in the pre-release that might have been worthwhile, but anything beyond that, I don't really see ever using that card. And look at that, I messed with the focus and I broke it. I broke everything. Come on, focus. Work with me here. That's a little better. Okay. 2 of my rares were blue, which blue, typically the blue pool I've been getting at pre-releases has been way too small to run blue, and I saw this as a decent card to run, but I didn't run blue, so I didn't do it. I just saw it as a way to deck people. At the beginning of my upkeep, target opponent puts the top 3 cards of their library into the graveyard, then you draw a card for each land card put into the graveyard this way. Again, could be good, could be just a waste, but at 5 mana, I didn't see it being a usable card costing that much. Gearsmith Prodigy. Gearsmith Prodigy gets +1/+0 as long as you control an artifact. I did not get many artifacts in my pool, so I did not play with it. Omen Speaker. Always like this guy. Enter the battlefield scry 2, because everyone knows how much I love scrying. Scrying, not crying. Let's see. Mirror Image. You may have Mirror Image enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature you control. I see that as definitely a usable card, and I will probably be throwing that into some decks someday soon. Aviation Pioneer. When Aviation Pioneer enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Flying is always good in the pre-releases, so I definitely saw that as a usable card. Djinn of Wishes. Djinn of Wishes enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Pay 4 mana, remove a wish counter from Djinn of Wishes, reveal the top card of your library. You may play that card without paying its mana cost if you don't exile it. So it's a 4 mana, might get something good, might get something bad, 3 times. Typically when I've done these kind of effects, I always pull a land. So I saw it as a good card, but at the same time, limited use. Again, that was 2 of my rares. Salvager of Secrets. When Salvager of Secrets enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. That's going straight into a deck. So that was my blue pool. So, mostly usable blue, but again, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 blue cards total, and I didn't feel like they were overpowering compared to what I got out of some of the other sets, or other colors. So we will put the blue to the side. And next color we are hitting up is green. Green, I feel like in M19 is very, very underpowered. Weak overall. Let me check something. Next color we are hitting up is... Okay. So green overall, I believe, is pretty weak in this set. So I was not planning on playing green. Rabid Bite, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So green direct damage in a way? Yeah, I know, Harry, you ran a green deck, but I kind of wanted to see your deck. I was just kind of curious what you threw in there and what you thought for your first pre-release. So maybe we'll check that out next time we hang out. Talons of Wildwood. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. 3 mana, return this from your graveyard to your hand. Should I put that in Shattergang Brothers? Maybe, but probably not. Target creature gets +3/+... Oh, declared dominance. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. All creatures able to block this turn do so. So they just have to block. They don't have to block that creature. So for 5 mana, I have it. It's about the size of a standard deck. Yeah, I know, you ran a pre-release with 66 cards, which is totally unheard of. And I still want to know how that guy decked you in the pre-release. That was some shenanigans going on there. So, pretty interesting. Looks like John's joined us today. How you doing, John? And some other people I don't know. Slow Cool and Decaf Smurf. Apparently, that Smurf doesn't like strong coffee. So, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. We're going over the M19 pre-release cards that I got. And just saying some thoughts. And then at the end, I'm going to go over my deck that I used. That I did pretty decent with once I tweaked it. So, stay tuned to the second half when I go over that. So, what do we got here? Prodigious Growth. Enchanted creature gets +7/+7 and has trample. That's a rare. Pretty good. You know what? I might start using that instead of there's a card I have called Giant Squirrel that is an instant that gives a creature +7/+7 till end of turn. So this might replace that. But it's 2 mana more, but it's I don't know. That's a pretty decent card. Red, green, blue you played, huh? I played, well, red, black, and blue. What? Red, black, and white to start with. And then I tweaked it to just red and black. And then I started winning. So, again, we'll get to that at the end. Wall of Vines, a 0/3 Defender Reach. Pretty good for 1 green. In a pre-release. Greenwood Sentinel. Vigilance 2/2 for 2 mana. Not bad. Not bad at all. Centaur Corsair. Just a 3/3 for 3 mana. Pretty lame. Giant Spider. Of course, that's a reprint. A 2/4 with reach. Vine Mare. I got a lot of the horses. Prodigious Grows to make a 9/9 Trample Death Touch. Yeah, I remember you saying about that. I bet that was a force to be reckoned with, and you should have been like wrecking everybody with that guy. Vine Mare, Hexproof, Vine Mare can't be blocked by black creatures. Decent uncommon. Bristling Boar. Bristling Boar can't be blocked by more than one creature. Well, how often do you see double blocks anymore? Not that often. Rock's Oracle. When Rock's Oracle enters the battlefield, draw a card. I will probably be using this in something. Plus, I like how it looks like Rocksteady from Ninja Turtles. Now I just need a card that's Bebop. Only got it once, and that's the game I won. Well, I hope you won with a 9/9 Trample Death Touch. So, Thornhide Wolves is a 4/5 for 4 mana, or for 5 mana. Yeah, got a couple of those. I mean, overall, out of my packs, I did not get many large creatures to fight with. So, that was my green pool. Again, I felt like it was overall pretty darn weak. So, I didn't, and the set in general, I kind of like dismissed green altogether, so I really didn't look at green very hard. Plus my pre-release card just kind of ticked me off with the stupid elf card, so I just threw it all to the side and didn't even look that hard at green. So let's see what colors we got next. We got some gold cards, the multicolors. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. Satyr Enchanter. Well, good card. I just don't make many white-green enchantment decks. And I didn't get very many enchantments in my pre-release, so that didn't work very well. Aerial Engineer. As long as you control an artifact, Aerial Engineer +2/+0 and has flying. Well, again, I did not get many artifacts, so that didn't work. Here's my artifacts. I got like 4. Fountain of Renewal. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain a life, sacrifice Fountain of Renewal for 3 mana, and draw a card. I almost played that, because I had a lot of life gain stuff. I almost played that. Because it's, I mean, early game it's good, late game, pay 3, draw a card. It had all good effects. I kind of dig that card. Field Creeper, it's just a Scarecrow, that's a 2/1. Sky Scanner, I'm glad I got these because they will go into another deck that I have. A flying 1/1, when Sky Scanner enters the battlefield, you draw a card. And a Gargoyle Sentinel. It's a 3/3 defender, but for 3 mana until end of turn, Gargoyle Sentinel loses defender and gains flying. Somebody played this against me in my very last game that, well, my last round literally lasted like 10 minutes. It was game 1, game 2, game over. And I won, and then we just played another game for fun, and he played this and started making it a flyer for 3 mana, and surprisingly, it's a good card. So, yeah, Fountain of Renewal is just a good card overall. So that was my artifacts. Not much going on. Well, I did get one other one that's in my actual deck. So, not much going on there, even though I had a couple of artifact guys. I just kind of threw it off to the side again. So we'll put that over on the red side there. Okay, so now we're into some red cards, my extra red cards. We got Crash Through. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn and draw a card for 1 red. That is a usable card. Smelt, destroy target artifact. Definitely had those ready in my sideboard since I got 2 of them, but not many people played with artifacts, so I never had to put them in. Double Cast. Double Cast I have to put in one of my commander decks. Whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. So Double Cast, kind of like a fork, and I love it. Tectonic Rift. Destroy target land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. I had this in my deck so many times. So many games it just sat in my hand because when it got to the point where I had 4 mana to play it, there were other things that I needed to do to defend myself. so I was never able to do this and use it as a all my creatures are unblockable type thing. So it got cut. Spark-Tongue Dragon. When Spark-Tongue Dragon enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 mana. When you do, it deals 3 damage to any target. So it's 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer, or 5, 6, 7, 8 mana for a 3/3 flyer that does 3 damage to something. I didn't see the value in that. That seemed like way too much mana to throw into it to do what it did. So it was cut. Now, so there's my extra red. We'll put that to the side. Again, some decent stuff, but very situational, so I didn't play with it. Now I got white. Again, the deck was white, but then I took all the white out. Let me check the focus again. Let's see if I could fix the focusing a little better. It's a little better? Okay, so Mighty Leap. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. Instant, which was cool, kind of cool. Good surprises, but again, I needed cards that stayed on the board. Invoke the Divine. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain 4 life. Great to have in the sideboard, but not a lot of artifacts and enchantments floating around. Well, I'm talking a little bit faster than I normally do because I am a little bit pressed for time because my wife has been doing, helping out with a camp for kids all week, and she's been getting up at like 5, 6 a.m. and wants to get to bed early. So I'll try to slow down a little bit. But again, these are the cards that I didn't really pick, so I kind of am blowing through them a little bit. But I'll try to slow down a little bit. Make a Stand. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn. I kind of liked this card as well, but again, it was just kind of a one-shot indestructible thing, so I did not play with it. When I do pre-releases, I like to have cards that are more permanents on the board versus instants and versus instants and sorceries. So unless they're things that are game winners or can really swing the board, I really don't put a lot of instants that are like instant power-ups for any reason. That's just kind of how I do it in my thought process behind it, and I usually do pretty well on the pre-releases. Luminous Bond. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Again, something I had to have in there for white when I did have white in there, because that is an amazing card, especially in a pre-release. It was good to shut things down. If you can't kill it, just shut it down. Inspired Charge. Creatures I control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Good if I had a weenie deck, but 4 mana for that, I didn't really see the point in that. Leonin Vanguard. 1 mana for a 1/1, but at the beginning of combat on my turn, if you control 3 or more creatures, Leonin Vanguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and I gain a life. Again, my deck was a lot around life gain and damage. So I thought about having that in there. Again, if I would have ran the white weenie deck or just a weenie deck, I could have used a lot of these little power-ups, but I didn't run that strategy because, well, I found something better. Rustwing Falcon, 1 mana for a 1/2 flyer. It's actually, again, a good 1 mana creature. Cavalry Drill Master. Whenever Cavalry Drill Master enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and still end the turn. don't remember if I used this guy when I had white in the deck. I don't think I did. Because again, it was just like a one-shot deal. And I'm sure like I would play him and he would power himself up, which he wouldn't have haste. So what would be the point? Oresco Swiftclaw. A 3/1 for 2 mana. So it's kind of one of those, in this format, I just saw it as if he's out on the board, all you're doing is blocking and trading creatures. So didn't see much of a point to having him in the deck. Luxodon Line Breaker, just a 3/2 for 3 mana. Again, it's kind of a 1-for-1 type deal with that. Let's see, Pegasus Corsair. I did have these guys in there when I ran white. Whenever Pegasus Corsair attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. I actually got 2 of them. Nope, no I didn't. Never mind, I was thinking, no I did get 2 of them. Got 2 of them. Boop boop. So 1/3 flyers that gave other creatures flying. Flying is always a huge thing in a pre-release tournament, so those were good for white. Trusty Pack Beast. Whenever Trusty Pack Beast enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Again, I didn't get in really any artifacts, so I didn't bother with them. Star Crowned Stag. It's a 3/3. Whenever Star Crowned Stag attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. So it's a good evasion card. I did have this in there when I was running white. Gallant Cavalry. 2/2 Vigilance. When he comes into play, you get a 2/2 White Knight with Vigilance. So for 4 mana, you get 2 2/2 creatures. And I got a couple of them. So when I had white in the deck, I was running both of them because I was looking to, well, fight wider, not bigger, because I didn't get a lot of big creatures. Herald of Faith. Flyer. When Herald of Faith attacks, I gain 2 life. I actually did not put this in the deck. And the reason why I didn't is because of the 2 white right there. I was running 3 colors. And I knew that it would be real hard to get the double white. When I only had like 4 planes in the whole deck. So I didn't run them. So that was my white pool, which I thought had some good stuff in it. But by the time, after a couple matches, somebody gave me the advice to cut white and just go black-red, and that's what I did. And that's when the deck started working. So we'll put all the white cards to the side. Here's what's left over from black. I had Duress, which I believe is a reprint. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. So it's a good discard. I got hit with Duress a few times, and it was annoying. When Stitcher's Supplier enters the battlefield or dies, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Good for decks, not for pre-releases. Skeleton Archer. When Skeleton Archer enters the battlefield, he deals 1 damage to any target. I had this in there for a while, but then I replaced it with other stuff, and you will see why. Red helps a lot in your matches. Me too, and you'll see why once I get to that deck. Infectious Horror. When Infection Horror attacks, each opponent loses 2 life. So I took him out because for 4 mana, and then I would attack with him and he would instantly die, so he'd basically 4 mana would only do 2 damage. That's why I took him out. So that was the other cards that I got. So now we get to the good stuff. We get to my deck. So let's see, and you know, if you're watching now and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe or follow or both. I appreciate any support I can get from you guys. So here we go. Ooh. Any support I can get from anybody. If you like what I'm doing, like I said, hit the follow button. If you really like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. Because we finally got to that level. I'm just kind of starting out the channel, and I appreciate all the support I can get, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in every time when they do. So Harry's like my biggest fan, so I appreciate you always showing up, and I try to remember everybody's names, even though I'm terrible with names. So let's get to the deck. Who's ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. Wait, this side. There we go. Alright, so we got lands. One, whoop. Oh shoot, I did not sort the deck. So let me do that very quickly here. Way to prepare. Alright, so we got land first, right? So I got quite a few of the little dual lands. So I got the black-red Cinder Barons. Comes into play tapped, get you black or red. Okay, it's a black and red deck. Why not? And let's see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 swamps. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mountains. So I ran 15 land? I thought I ran more than that. I always had problems with mana in the deck, so I always had too much or too little. Oh, there we go. 16. So 8 mountains, 5 swamps, and the dual land. So I had so much trouble with my mana base this time, and I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I kept adjusting it every time. Either I would have too little mana every time, or way too much, so I had a really tough time with that, but eventually I got it right with 16 land. So I ended up going 2 wins, 2 losses, but even when I lost, I at least won one of the matches every time. So let's get this sorted out really quick. Everybody kept accusing me of having running a horses deck, so that was kind of fun. Alright, so here's the one other artifact that I got. Diamond Mare. As Diamond Mare enters the battlefield, choose a color. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen color, I gain a life. I got this guy out every single match and was always gaining life every single time. So again, this deck was built around life gain and direct damage. So you'll see how that really worked out together. So Diamond Mare. I got 2 Lightning Mares, 1 foil. So the Lightning Mare cannot be countered. Lightning Mare can't be blocked by blue creatures, and for 2 mana, Lightning Mare gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So many times I get this out on like turn 2, and I like the foily one. It looks really good. And power the heck out of this thing, and just keep getting into like 4 damage, 5 damage, 6 damage early in the game before they even had a chance to get started. So Lightning Mare, I do like Lightning Mare a lot. That I'd say is one of the better new horses. Lava Axe, which I had 2 of those. Lava Axe deals 5 damage to target player or planeswalker. I like the little text on it too. It says catch. So people are even calling it when I had 5 mana and I tap for 5. They'd be like, "You got Lava Axe? Are you killing me with Lava Axe?" And I'd be like, "Yes." So Lava Axe, I almost didn't put it in there, but I saw it as if I get 2 of these, that's half of somebody's life already. So it was good value. So I put those in. Banefire I put in towards the end. I didn't know how I felt about this card. 1 red and X. Banefire deals X damage to any target. If X is 5 or more, you can't counter that spell, and the damage can't be prevented. Whoa, that was a lot of texting. If you want to know how he milled me, he had Psychic Erosion and a Millstone, and something that was pay 4 and tap. You exile cards until you exile instant or sorcery, which you may cast it. If you cast it, your opponent puts all cards exiled this way on the bottom of the deck in order. If not, all cards remain exiled. Yeah, that's something that he got all 3 of those in one big deck. Wow. Yeah, I see him milling people. I think that, you know, that guy that you played against, I think is highly underestimated. He has a very bad vision problem and like has really thick glasses, but then also has to look through a magnifying glass to see his cards a lot of times. But if you're patient and you play with him, he's a very good competitor. So I think people really underestimate him and don't have the patience to play against him. But yeah, I know he's legally blind, but if you're very patient with him, he's a very nice guy, and he's actually pretty fun to play with. So, but Banefire, like I said, I almost didn't play with it. I started playing with it on the 2 matches that I won, so that went in. Goblin Instigator. When Goblin Instigator enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red goblin. So 2 mana for 2 1/1s. I saw that as all good stuff for quick blockers. Act of Treason, I did not get to play it once, but that's a reprint. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. So it'd steal their creatures and attack them with them. So I didn't get to play that this time, but I think in the last 3 pre-releases I've had Act of Treason in my deck or something, some cards similar to that, and always been able to play it, and that's usually when I would win. Vishino Pyromancer. When Vishino Pyromancer enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. I had 2 of those guys in there. So I saw it as 2 mana for direct damage and a blocker. Yeah, that was good. Bogart Brute, a 3/2 menace. Again, good evasion creature because of menace. Sure Strike, target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Again, another card I wasn't really happy to play with it, but when I started playing with it, it did come in handy because of the first strike. It was good for blocking. Havoc Devils, 4/3 trample. So again, good evasion to get through to somebody. So that was the red side of the deck. You see a lot of direct damage stuff with Vishino Pyromancers and Lava Axes and Banefire and quick creatures with Lightning Mares and Goblin Instigators and Bogart, or not Bogart Brute, and well, Vishino Pyromancers. So a lot of quick stuff to come out and hit them early, and then even if it's late game, get them with Lava Axes. So that was how. Oh, there's more red in here. What the heck? Catalyst Elemental. Sacrifice Catalyst Elemental. Add 2 red. Mainly had that in there for if I got the if I needed the mana for a Lava Axe or a to power up Banefire. It was in there. Only played him once on the field. And a good old Fire Elemental for my big creature. There's your 5/4. Okay, now that's all the red. That's all the red. Okay. So now we get into black, the black side of things. Which, let me do a quick sort. Alright. So I had 2 reassembling skeletons. For 2 mana, return reassembled skeletons from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So these were in there as my defending blockers that would keep coming back and keep defending for me. So, creature recursion. Child of Night, 2/1 lifelink. There's some of my life gain again. I had 2 of these in there for, again, direct damage and life gain. Target player loses 3 life, and I gain 3 life. So I ran both of those for sure for only 2 mana. That's a great card. We'll come back to him. Doomed Dissenter. When Doomed Dissenter dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature. So again, good defense, and then I get a bigger defender. Worked out really good for me. Again, Epicure of Blood. Whenever you gain a life, each opponent loses a life, and he's a 4/4. So he's a big creature, but also again, I'm doing a bunch of stuff to gain life. So especially when I had Diamond Mare out, so that kind of worked together, as well as some of the other black gain life, the life link, the Sovereign Bites. So that was working to get me a lot of life. Hired Blade, 3/2 flash. So flash again, flash creature for sure. That is that's always a good surprise to have in there, where somebody thinks they're going to come at you and you block them and kill their stuff. So that was always good. Lich's Caress, destroy target creature, I gain 3 life. That was my only creature destruction card in the entire pull. So I had to play it, and it was life gain, so that was all good stuff. And then here we go, Graveyard Marshal. This is a great card. I am actually excited to have this, because even though I don't do zombie decks or anything, but for 2 black mana to get a 3/2, first off, that's good by itself. But then his ability for 3 mana, you exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So I would block with all this stuff to protect me. I would keep bringing stuff back from the graveyard to again protect me even longer, so that I can have more time to draw into some of the direct damage to kill people. He worked out really well, and was usually a target for people to take. So take to destroy, whatever. Nobody liked him on the field, so he was good. He was good for me. So that was my deck. That was what I actually played with. And again, I had first round, I won 1, lost 2. Second round, I won 1, lost 2. Third round, I won 2, lost 0. And then fourth round, I won 2, lost 0. So after I kind of tweaked it up a little bit, I was able to run fairly well with it, and get that 20 life gone on my opponents. So like I said, it was a quick deck. It would come out really fast, and did I mix these up yet? No, I did not. It would come out fast, hit hard, and defend me in the process once they started getting bigger stuff. So it and then out of my so I won 2 packs, because what they were doing was for every round you won, you'd get a pack. I got 2 packs, and I got total garbage out of both of those packs, because my rares were this guy, Valiant Knight. Other knights you control get +1/+1, pay 5 mana. Knights I control gain double strike. I'm not making a knight deck. And the other rare I got was Thorn Lieutenant? Did I get that? I don't know. I did a bunch of trading too. Yeah, I think Thorn Lieutenant was the other one. When Thorn Lieutenant becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you get a 1/1 elf, and then for 6 mana, Thorn Lieutenant gets +4/+4 till end of turn. not good packs. But I will say this, all this stuff here that I got: Gilded Lotus, Skittering Invasion, Squee the Immortal, Mox Amber, Telonius Summoner, Genesis Hydra, Frang Omnipotence, Aravid the Cursed, Jetty Lifestrider, Triumph of Gerald, Peleka Worm, Gilded Lotus, all that stuff. I did get a Crucible of Worlds in my pack, and I traded that away because that is not a style of deck that I really make. I traded that away for all of this. So I feel pretty darn good that I got all of that for Crucible of Worlds, and I'm glad that I finally got a Mox Amber, because anytime new Moxes or Lotuses have been coming out, I've been trying to get them, kind of collect them. So I finally got a Mox Amber, which took me literally the entire day to get a damn Mox Amber, but I ended up finding somebody that was willing to trade it, so I got it. It's mine. Alright, so we got a few more minutes here. I can run a test hand. Let me try to deal with the focus a little better, so we can focus on the board. Let's see if that's coming through a little clearer. A little bit clearer. Alright, so let's run a sample hand and you can see what I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's a usable hand with 3 mana, a Banefire, Lava Axe, Sure Strike, Vishino Pyromancer. So right there, I've already got turn 1. Favorite card I pulled? Honestly, none of them. I was not excited about this set in general at all. Here's turn 2, and Vishino Pyromancer, take 2 damage. Turn 3, I'd attack with that. Sure Strike, so there's 5, so I hit him for 7 already. Diamond Mare, naming red. So this is where the long game kicks in. Blocker. I'm getting stuck with mana like I always do. So Act of Treason, gain a life, steal their creature, attack with it. I guess my favorite card that I pulled was Crucible of Worlds, because I was able to trade it right away and get a bunch of stuff that I actually wanted. So, it's kind of a weird way to say that that was my favorite card of it, but it was. Here we go. Turn 4, or whatever turn it is. So it's probably getting beat up a little bit. Sovereign Bite. You see how I'm getting hosed with mana? Still hosed with mana, but I could still play stuff, right? So that was not a good sample hand. So that's what kept happening to me. I would get stuck at 4 mana, 3 or 4 mana, or I would I would just get mana all day long and not pull any other cards. I had a game that I should have won, but I literally sat there for 5 turns in a row and just drew land, and I already played my entire hand. So all I could do was sit there and defend, and he was also drawing land as well, which kind of sucked, because if I would have pulled anything, I would have been able to get the advantage. I probably have to look through my pile of cards again and see what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So look at this, 5 land. But I would run that, because I just drew land again. That's turn 1. Turn 2, we'll play a Diamond Mare. Say red. Turn 3. Good. Gain a life. Turn 4. Look at this. Attack with the menace. Go to sure strike, so that's 6, and I gain another life. Oh my gosh, it's happening again. My hand is all land. But I can literally play anything I grab now. And with a lightning mare, that's actually pretty darn good. And see, I could active treason, so take their creature, attack with the lightning mare, and power it up 2 extra, so it's a 5/1. It would die in the process, but I would definitely take something with it. And active treason, they'd be taking a bunch of damage off their own creature, and I gained a few life there. So it was just a weird run that I had. Basically, anytime I got Lava Axe, I won. Which again, 2 Lava Axes and a 41. I think I ran 41 cards. It ended up working pretty well for me. Let me see. What was my favorite card? I mean, definitely, Diamond Mare was very good to me throughout the set. Graveyard Marshal, again, you heard, I'm a big fan of that card. I think that's going to be a really good card. Lightning Mare won me a lot of games. Sovereign Bite, I think, is a very good card, especially like in duels. If you're running like 4 of those, that's 12 damage and you gain 12 life if you've gassed all 4. Prodigious Growth, I think, is actually going to be a good card in the right deck. So these are some of my picks of what I got. Gin of Wishes, I think, can be good. Oh, I'm not going to use this deck anymore. Once I get home off the pre-releases, I just like tear the decks apart, and like literally right after this stream is over, I'm probably going to tear the deck apart. Mirror Image, I think, can be very good. Let's see, what other cards do I think that are pretty darn good out of what I pulled? Again, I didn't get anything that was overly exciting. Sky Scanner, again, I said I'm going to use that in a deck. It's just the wrong colors. So I have to say, out of my packs, these were my picks of favorite cards that I see as usable cards. Definitely, if I had to pick like 1 or 2, I think Graveyard Marshal is going to be a standout card for sure. And Lightning Mare. Those were my 2 favorite picks of the of my pre-release deck that I ran, and Diamond Mare. So literally these 3 cards. Well, Diamond Mare just made me gain life, but this would make me win games. So those 3. Adding Prodigious Growth to my dragon deck, hopefully enchanting the Dragon. Oh jeez. You need cheap stuff in that deck. You need hey, okay, so Harry runs this all dragon Dragon deck for Commander, and he literally can't do anything till like at least six land is on the table. But then when he starts to get rolling, he does start rolling. But by that time, everybody else is rolling too. So I'm telling you, you need to put some what were they? I was just thinking about it the other day. You need some of the colored artifact mana. Let me just pull out my book here real quick, slide this over. Pull out one of my binders for you. And you need the signets. Where did I put them? Where the heck did I put them? You need, well, clue stones for sure. These things. You need the clue stones, one of each color, or at least a few of them. And then the, which, you know, they're like 3 mana. They come into play untapped. So you tap and add one of 2 colors to your mana pool, or you can pay the 2 mana that they are, and you sacrifice them to draw a card. So these would be good in your deck. Again, you get like, put 5 of them in there for each, so you have each color combination. And then there was the other ones that I can't find in my book. I don't think I used them all. Thought they cost 2 mana, and they did the same thing. Oh, here they are, the signets. So, I'm using a lot of my signets, so I don't have them in the book. But the signets will give you, you pay 2 for the signet, you pay 1, tap it, and it gives you 2 colors of mana. So it basically works as another land. So like, you know, put 5 of these in there, and 5 of the other ones that I showed you just a second ago. So 5 signets and 5 clue stones, and I think that deck will start rocketing. How much faster it's going to be. 10 mana rocks will give you a good mana pool, or a good chance of grabbing one of those. And well, these are like 10-cent cards, dude. You don't need to trade for these. So I'm sure the shop has a ton of them. Like, I got all foil clue stones, which I think I paid like $0.25 each for each of these on TCG Player. So, dude, just, you know what? Next time we go to the shop, I'll see what I can get for you. If you're there with me, remind me what I said that you need, and I'll see if I can buy them for you, and then I'll trade you for those dragons that I asked you about. How's that? So we'll figure it out, dude. So in fact, I might even have a few, but see if you got those dragons that I asked you about, and we'll work something out, okay? So I'll see. Oh, what are these? Key runes. Key runes too. Key runes do the same thing, but they turn into creatures instead. So the other ones let you draw cards. The clue stones let you draw cards. These turn into creatures. I'd rather have the option to draw cards myself. Plus, I like foils. I'll text you afterwards what dragons I was looking for again, because I forget the names of them myself. But that is my review of my pre-release deck and my, well, M19. So next week on Tuesday, I will be going over my new commander deck that I've made that I got to debut before and after the pre-release, and it's just sick. I have so much fun with that thing. It's got what is it, Grandmaster something. What the heck is his name? I already deleted the picture. I don't even remember the name of the commander, but it's super fast and it wrecks everybody. So I will be debuting that Again, I'll be playing that a lot this coming weekend at the local game store, and yeah, this guy right here. Oh, right here. Forget that I got two cameras. Grand Warlord Radha. So this guy makes like stupid fast mana, and yeah, I had a ton of fun with that. Even with bad draws, he still comes out strong. So that's what I'm going to talk about next Tuesday, when I do Magic Tuesdays. Again, Wednesday and Thursday this week. Tomorrow I plan on playing a bunch of Intellivision games. Old school Intellivision, who was Atari's competitor. So I'm going to teach you guys a lot about that system, because that was like literally one of the first video games, actually the first video game system I ever had. So that's what I grew up with as a kid, instead of Atari. So I'm going to teach you guys a whole bunch of stuff about that system. I'm going to play quite a few of those different games as well. And that's what I plan on doing tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, if you haven't followed the channel, please do while you're watching here, so you can join me next time. And what am I going to do next on Thursday? I haven't decided what I'm doing Thursday yet, so you have to tune in and find out. So tune in next time, where the gaming never ends, as long as you press continue. Bye guys, see you later. Whoop whoop.